Good evening, ladies, as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena action, turning down my volume like a boss. It's been a while since we've done Priest, but I have more total Priest runs than Rogue and one more video than Rogue video, so let's catch up on Rogue here. And then we'll see what happens. Hey! Kicking off with a Legendary. Well, Edwin is the class-specific Legendary for Rogue, and he's not bad. I mean, if you can just get one combo, a 4-4 for 3 isn't bad. If you can combo him twice, 6-6 for 3 is obviously great. The other contender here is Leeroy, however, because that is 6 damage for 4 mana, so it gives you a lot of reach. As long as your opponent doesn't have a taunt, you can finish them off. But that said, if your opponent is not about to die, Leeroy is almost always unplayable unless you can do like Fan of Knives after him or something like that. Oh man, it's a tough call. I'm going to take Edwin. He's the safer pick, although if this ends up being a really like aggro-y type of deck, I'll regret not having more reach in the form of Leeroy. Alright, we got to choose between my favorite card in the game, Backstab, or the Shatterstone Cleric. We'll take the Backstab. Last time I played Rogue, I had no Backstabs. It was so annoying. Well, there's only one playable card here. That's Sap. Let's just take it and call it a day. And here, I don't like either of these drops. The Wind Fury Harpy can sometimes win you games for sure, but I don't want to commit to that as a 6 drop. Let's take the Jungle Panther first here, which is a very solid 3, and see what we can do. Well, this is a tough moment. I mean, Sprint is certainly a lifesaver in some cases, but you're kind of committing to a pretty slow deck. Let's go ahead and grab some more removal with Deadly Poison. And, okay, here we'll take the Ogre, so now we're definitely going to have some endgame, which is nice. Another Backstab? Yeah, sure. Okay, we got the Hungry Crab, which is unplayable, and 2 of the 3 Epic Giants. Unfortunately, we got the shitty ones, so I'm going to take Molten Giant. I think he's a little bit less crappy than Mountain Giant, but I don't like either one of them very much. Only really playable card here is the Dwarf. Let's just take that. Alright, now here we have Blade Flurry, one of the rogues. Well, really, the rogue's only real master removal, apart from Fan of Knives, but that only deals 1 damage across the board, so Blade Flurry is the only thing that can really deal more than 1 damage. You do have to combo it, though, with something like a Deadly Poison or an Assassin's Blade for it to do more than just 1. The Auctioneer gives me some card draw, and it works really well with Backstabs and Deadly Poisons and even Sap. So although the Knife Juggler is a great 2-mana minion, let's take this guy and make sure we get some card draw going up in this biz. Do I take a 3rd Backstab? Or this? Yeah, if this were a 2-drop, I would take it because I need 2 drops, but I will take a 3rd Backstab. I'll take a 2nd Sap. I don't like either of these. You could take the Booty Bay, I guess, but I'll just grab a Sap. So there's lots of removal in this deck already. Now here we have a difficult choice. I can go for the Ogre Magi, which is great with the Backstabs, or the Panda, which is a 2-drop. And I do need some 2-drops. Let's grab that, just to make sure that our curve works out. So here we can make a choice. You can either go greedy with Boulder Fist Ogre, because it's the best card here, or take another Panda. Okay, I'll be greedy. We'll take an Ogre, so this will be like a lots of removal with an endgame focus type of a deck. We'll take the Wolf here. Nice to have some buffs and a 2-drop. And since there's plenty of removal in this deck already, I don't want this. I've got enough endgame, so I don't want this. We'll take the Infiltrator to have at least 1 good 1-drop in the deck. Okay, so this is a tricky choice. Assassinate's the only thing that rogues have that can really kill big stuff, but the Fen Creeper is a great creature. It gives me a nice big body and some taunt. I'm going to take Assassinate, though, at the risk of having too much removal. I really want to make sure that I have, at the risk of having too much removal, I really want to make sure I have a way of killing big generic threats. Let's grab the buff there. And this is tricky. I don't really want more pandas. I don't want the Wolf Rider. I've got so much removal. This seems kind of silly to take. The panda's just awkward, having too many of them without any panda targets. But I don't want this if I don't have any creatures. They're going to make nothing to buff. We'll take the panda, I guess. But I'm not that thrilled about it. Alright, the Perdition's Blade, certainly a good card, but we've got way too much removal. Well, not way too much. We have plenty of removal already. I just want some creatures. I don't want a 2nd Auctioneer. That's a little risky, so we'll take the Blade Master just to have a nice solid 3-drop. Okay. We'll take the Cult Master, I suppose, although that could be a little risky. Now, the Fan of Knives is strong. Versus the Tiger, yeah, we'll take the Fan of Knives. It's nice to have one of those. And, okay, do we take the Eviscerate? I'm worried about having too much removal. There's, like, so much of this deck that's just removal, but I could take the Ringleader, I suppose. I already have plenty of 2-drops. The Wolf and the... Well, not plenty, but a decent amount of 2-drops with the Wolf and the 2 Pandas. Take the Blade. Gives my deck some reach. Now, let's just take the Eviscerate. Call it a day. Alright, the only playable card here is the Pint Size, so we'll take that. That was kind of a crappy rare. Let's not take a 3rd Sap. We'll take the other playable card then. And, okay, I'm not going to take Deadly Poison. So, it's either Crusader or Inventor here. Crusader is a very strong 3-drop. I think I need this Crusader. I need something that can hit the board hard and do good things for me. I'll take the SI Agent. Oh gosh. We'll take the Squire over the Golem. And I guess we'll take a Defender of Argus here for some buffs and some taunt. The deck is lacking taunt. Alright, now the Questing Adventure is an interesting choice. I could try to make it big with a decent number of cheap spells in this deck. But let's take the safer pick, the Argent Commander. I honestly have no clue how good this deck is. It does have tons of removal. It's got a few endgame cards. Got a couple of Ogres. Got the Argent Commander there for me. We have a Darkscale Healer for some beef. It's kind of missing a mid-game. It doesn't really have like any good 4s. No Senjins, no Yetis. I passed on a Fen Creeper, passed on a Silverhand Knight. So I don't know. It's possible that I would have nothing to do in the early game if I draw all of my removal cards and my opponent doesn't play anything to kill. And then it's possible that my opponent will play things like Chillwind Yetis that none of my single target cards except for Assassinate can kill. And then I'll lose just because I have a really weird deck. So we'll see how it works out. Okay, well, we got Edwin here. I think I'll mulligan him. We'll keep the Infiltrator though. Okay, so we got a pretty interesting curve here. We can do Infiltrator, Wolf, and Cleric. The Infiltrator and the Wolf could potentially both die to Cleave. Have to take that risk. If I'm lucky, though, he'll coin out something and I can use the Infiltrator just to kill it. He could coin into a 2-3, for example, and then the Wolf would help me. Ah, this is the worst thing. So my Dagger doesn't kill this. The Wolf makes no difference. Okay, we'll take a little risk here. I'm going to Dagger up. I'm going to hit this thing and pass the turn. So the idea here is I'm going to try to kill this with my Dagger. I take a total of 3 damage from it. I hit it twice, and then it hits me once. 3 damage is alright for killing a 1-drop, I think. And the card advantage, I think, is worth it. He passes on turn 2, which is great. Now, I could actually Fan of Knives to kill this thing, but I think the Fan of Knives has more potential later. So we will finish this thing off. Play a Shattered Sun Cleric. And swing now a Cleave, something I'm very vulnerable to, but again, I have to take that risk. Not everybody has Cleave. Cleave only gives him up 1, gets him ahead 1 card, and I'm already ahead a card because I killed his Goldshire Footman with my Dagger. So that's fine. Pretty strong, this hero ability. 1 use of this hero ability. Granted, I also had to pay some life. Took out a creature all by itself. That's really only something you should do with 1/2s, though. I think if that were a 2/2, taking 6 damage is kind of unacceptable, even for a single card. Right, Flesh Eating Ghoul's a pretty unremarkable play here. My opponent just is letting me kill it. I could Dagger Backstab to kill it, and then play the Wolf. That way I don't have to trade any of my minions. That is totally worth it, just because I'm not 100% sure that I will ever get to use that Backstab for anything else. That's the thing about Backstab. It might not be my favorite card forever. Other cards might squeeze in its place. It is such a great feeling killing a 3/2 and then doing whatever else you wanted for your turn, but sometimes you just don't have any good targets for Backstab, or you end up using it, inefficiently. So he didn't have Cleave, that's good. Does he have a good 4-drop here? I could deal with like a Yeti pretty easily. If he plays a 5-drop... Oh man, that's like the worst thing he could have possibly played. I can just kill it. So I have some options here. I could, of course, assassinate it. I could just trade one of my creatures for it. If I sap... Oh man, if I sap, the issue with that is, what else am I doing with my turn? Just making my Dagger? That seems kind of silly. If I assassinate, though, I might regret... Yeah, this makes no... Okay, whatever he plays next, I'll sap. But sapping this makes no sense, because I'm just going to... I'm just going to use Assassinate later anyway, so I might as well go ahead then and Assassinate when I don't have anything better to do. A sap is an Assassinate. It just costs 3 mana less and your opponent can replay the creature. So I'm pretty happy to spend more of my mana, because a sap is essentially the same thing as Assassinate, and I can just use it later if I need to. Well, my opponent has had a grand total of 0 removal cards this game. So this was a bit of a freebie here. I actually have lethal damage right now with that Flesh Eating Ghoul. He, wow, might have just had the worst warrior deck of all time. Yeah, this game's over. I don't even need to sap that Flesh Eating Ghoul because it doesn't have taunt or anything. We'll just put Play the Argent Commander, and that is lethal damage. I did not need to attack with the wolf. So that opponent, well, just gave us a free game, basically. What did he play? He played 2 flesh-eating ghouls and a booty bay bodyguard? Oh, and a Goldshire footman. No removal. I think even new players know that removal is a good thing to have, so he either had a horrifically bad draw or he just had a really bad draft. And I had a really good draw. I mean, I got just enough removal to kill his stuff, and the rest of it was creatures I could play. And that's really the big fear with this deck, is not having enough creatures to play. I feel like if I have targets for my removal and I can get some creatures on the board, this deck is really, really strong just because of its ability to kill things. Okay, I love being a rogue against paladins because, as I say all the goddamn time, 1 use of my hero ability takes out 2 of his. Well, mulligan the Eviscerate, that's more of a later game removal card, plus I got Deadly Poison, which should be good enough to take care of business. Pine-Sized Summoner, not the greatest card, really just in general. He mulligans 3 cards, keeps this one, but it was a 2-drop, and I should really keep it just in case. I have nothing better to play, which is exactly what happened. Okay. Now, do you play the panda here or the pine size? Let's play the pine size. This will put some pressure on him. He might do some contortions to kill this thing that he wouldn't have done otherwise. Granted, paladins just don't have that many ways of killing a 2-drop anyway. Is he going to play like a Wolf Rider to kill this off? I was going to play Scarlet Crusader. Well, that's interesting. So what this does is... damn it. It makes it so that the... Deadly Poison isn't useful. That's what I don't like about this Scarlet Crusader. I could dagger up, throw the pine size, and dagger this thing to kill it. I could also do the same with Fan of Knives and draw a card that way. Or I could play the Defender of Argus, but that would make this still die to the Scarlet Crusader. Oh boy. Then I'm putting a creature on the board. If I dagger and kill this, then I don't have any creatures. Balls. Alright, this is a bit of a risk. So I wouldn't normally make a play like this. Generally, the motto is don't let paladins keep creatures, but he used his coin to get that Crusader out, so there's no Blessing of Kings, and the Argent Protector, which is the other main thing that paladins can do, doesn't make any difference, nor does like any kind of attack buffs. So now what happens is I can just use Deadly Fan of Knives to kill off his board. I could also dagger up, kill this, let my Defender kill that, and then play the Panda. That way I end up with a 3-2 on the board instead of a 2-3, and then this is back in my hand. No, let's just keep it simple, keep it safe. Fan of Knives. Clears out the board. Ooh, I even got an Infiltrator. That is very good. That's extremely, extremely good. That can make a huge difference. So he's got 7 cards to my 6, soon to be 7, so I managed to kind of keep ahead with that Fan of Knives. He has True Silver Champion to kill all my stuff, but the good news is that he doesn't have reinforcements, so the Dark Scale Healer, while being just an overpriced Chillwind Yeti, because the hero or the battle cry is totally wasted, could actually help me out. Or could, because it doesn't die to the True Silver Champion by itself. My other option is to play the Panther and make a dagger that would let me put Deadly Poison on it in the future. And then let this weapon kind of stay useless. Alright, we'll try this out. This is a little risky. I could try to bait the use of True Silver Champion by attacking with the Infiltrator, but no, we'll pass here. We'll pass, and we'll see what he wants to do. What he wants to do is play a Fen Creeper. Well, I really hope I get a Dark Iron Dwarf here. That would be the best. I get Argent Commander, which is not the best. Not the best at all. So I could Deadly Poison to hit this, use the Panther to finish it off. Unfortunately, I cannot finish it off with the Infiltrator. Ah, man. Alright, well. Yeah, alright. Let's do this. That. Finish it off with the Panther. Bait out the True Silver Champion. And play the healer. I probably should have attacked this last turn. That was a bit foolish of me. Wow, that is the only time in the history of the universe that this guy has been good. He just killed a deadly poisoned hero dagger, and he kills my Infiltrator. Okay. Shattered Sun Cleric I think is worth it. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Let's me kill off that. And then I could either make a dagger and the panda, put something back in my hand, or I could just play this guy. Let's go ahead and just play this guy, even though it means not daggering up, because it uses up more of my card mana. And then next turn I could potentially play the Archer Commander and panda the Archer Commander back into my hand. So I've got a decent board here. He could just remove it relatively easily, and then I'd be in a lot of trouble. Alright, this will be fine for dying to the dagger, perhaps. Hammer of Wrath gives him some more card advantage. So he'll have 6 cards to my 4/5. He's got Blessing of Might. Okay, so he's going to use this and 2 for 1 against my Blade Master. Alright, so he's got 5 cards to my 3. It's a little scary, but Ogre is a pretty good top deck. So I can kill off this Novice Engineer. I've got a life advantage here. He's got 6 cards to my 4, soon to be 5. Hard to deal with this Ogre, but he needs a Humility effect. If he has a Humility effect, this will be a 1/7. I don't have any silences in this deck, and then I could be in trouble. Alright, Leper Gnome will die happily to my dagger. This should die to my Argent Commander. This is looking really good. Looking really, really good. Ooh, Eviscerate. Okay, Eviscerate's pretty great. So we're going to do this. We're going to combo the Eviscerate. Wait, can I win? Hold on. Hold on. 10, 13, 17, 18. No, I cannot win. Okay, so we're going to do... What am I doing? We're doing this. We're going to do this. Kill the Leper Gnome. Hit for lots of damage. Man, this Ogre is just like single-handedly winning me the game. Okay, now we're threatening lethal. This is 13 damage. If need be, I could also push through extra damage by pandaing this guy and then replaying him. Consecration would be great for my opponent. It would kill off 2 of my minions. Let him keep on fighting. If he has that, he could stay in the game. He gets a Molten Giant. Is it an irrelevant last turn Molten Giant, or can he actually give this thing taunt? That's not taunt. Does he have a Sunfree Protector to give both of them taunt? He has a Recruit. He has an irrelevant last turn Molten Giant. In a recent arena, I actually lost to a last turn Molten Giant that was not irrelevant. It was actually game winning. My opponent got a free Molten Giant and then killed me with it. That was really sad. Luckily, I have not seen my Molten Giant. That's a terrible card, and I'm happy just happy not to see it. So thanks for watching. Please like the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel if you want to help me out. I will see you soon with the rest of this run. Take care.